Hey, this is SapphireMayo, and welcome back to the D to the K to the C to the 2, Diddy's Conquest. Now we're gonna start off with Swanky. I did off-screen collecting enough those tokens, so we'll just get this out of the way. So don't be nervous, we all want to win, don't we folks? That's right, they're all behind you. Who's behind me? I'm looking behind me, there's no one's there. Sorry. Alright then, let's go to Funky's Fun. What can your snake buddy do that is special? Well, he can jump very high. That's one thing. What is the name of the level with the anglerfish who helps you with his underwater light? The really useless one? That's in Glimmer's Galleon. What is the name of the big muscle-bound crocodile who guards the toll bridge? That is Clubber. And get some nice lives for this. Let's go to Swanky Swag. How many lives do you start with the game with? Okay, I think I butchered that massively, sorry. That is 5 lives. What, wait, no, hang on. What button do you press to team up? That's the A button. Oh wait, I think that was the name of the rhino? That was Ranby. Yep. Now the prime and prize. Alright, what is the name of this area of the island? It's not Donkey. It is Kremkey. And what is the parrot buddy's name? The best one of all, that is Squawks. How many airplanes hang from the roof of College? They do like to throw in these random questions. And I believe there are 2 of them. So now we have 10 lives to work with, which is really good. Well, technically 11, because for some reason Donkey Kong Country games like to say 0 counts as 1. So now that we're done with Swanky, let's move on to Bramble Blast. Now I'm pretty sure a lot of you know how famous this soundtrack is in this particular level. And that is just, you know what, I think I might just shut up for it just a couple of seconds, just so you can, like, listen to its glory. Okay, let's continue on. So yes, this is Bramble Blast. I'm thinking of Bramble Scramble, but that's another level we're probably going to take on later. So yes, the Bramble levels. This is actually probably one of my more favourite ones, and they typically tend to use the barrel mechanics, and yes, they are notoriously known to be quite tricky. And am I going the right way? I don't think so. I'm going to go up there. Yeah, I'm going to go up here. There we go. That's what I'm going to be doing. Rightio, let's try and move on, and I'm pretty familiar with these stages, so I don't expect too many fails. But, I mean, a lot of people say that this is probably the best soundtrack in this game. It's definitely quite interesting. I'd probably say it wasn't the one song that made me really want to pause the game and listen to it. It's actually a different song in this game, but we'll get to that a bit later. But also a bonus. And also, while going through this bonus room, I'd also like to mention that I did in fact hear the Bramble Blast remix on Smash Bros. Brawl first, before I actually listened to the original. And in my opinion, I just think both are just as awesome. Mind you, they are designed for completely different purposes. This one's more for, because it's so much more serene, this is more focusing on, you know, you have to be practiced, you have to have your timing right because you're dealing with barrels, and, you know, it's really something that tests your patience. In Smash Bros. Brawl, you might notice that it's a lot more energetic and it's a bit more freelance, sort of, or free-spirited, I should say. And I just think it's an excellent soundtrack on its own because, well, technically in that game you're fighting, you're kicking the living, you're beating the crap out of other characters. So you wouldn't beat the crap out of characters to this kind of music, you would to the remix of the Smash Bros. Game. So, oh jeez, got my timing a bit off there. Yeah, I tend to rush this a little bit. Normally it's not too much of a problem, but you know. Now usually I like to go as Dixie Kong and float down, but I guess I have to do it the old-fashioned way. Yeah, so that's my... Oh, well, herp-de-derp-derp. Yeah, so that's pretty much my opinion on the music, I think both of them are just as equally excellent because they're meant to portray two very different things. Now let's just try and redo this, and oh, you can get another life, so that's always good. Oh, and I do the same thing again. And I did the same thing again. Really? Really? Okay. Well. My goodness. Alright then. Let's try and not do that again. Really. Oh, well, we're going to get a life because of all the times that I've failed at that. There we go. That's what I'm meant to be doing. Okay, so now I can float down, make it a bit easier for me. And there we go. We meant to go... I think we're meant to go that way, are we? Yes. Follow the bananas. Follow the bananas and you should generally be okay for that. Because it can be a bit of a maze. Alright then, go that one. Yep, that one. And then that one. Then that one. Because bananas. And there we go. Alright. Now if we head back like that, we meet up with squawks, which is always nice. One thing I tend to find is whenever you have a bramble level, you tend to find squawks as well, so that's always nice. And we have our DK coin right here. And not only that, but we've also got another few nice things over here. If I can get to it. Ow. There we go, there's our next bonus. Let's go to find the token, and we just navigate through the brambles. It's not very exciting. Oh well, it's not like... Well, this game hasn't really been given credit for just having more secrets to find rather than actually interesting secrets to complete. But there we go. There's our G. There's our barrel. There's our one banana. And I think there's a hidden DK barrel somewhere here, but I think it's probably in the far back corner on the right hand side of the screen, I think. And now we have Cudgel's Contest, and I'm just checking how we're going for time. I think we might do that, but before I do that, hang on a second. I need to get this. Alright. Never mind that. I was just... Yeah, that was just a bubble wrap, don't worry. I might make it a thing where just before I face a boss, I'll just have bubble wrap with me. I don't know. Anyway, this here is Cudgel, who is a recolor of Clubber, as you could probably tell. And you have to jump the same time he does because he shakes the ground and he does stun you. So it's always a good idea to not jump the same time he does. Or land. Or be on the ground when he is landing. Like that. Can I get out of there? Can I get out of there? Thank you. So right now, he's pretty easy. Oh. That's actually never happened to me. Okay. As he just went flying on the edge of the screen. That was actually kind of hilarious. Okay, well. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Dixie Kong will kick his ass. She will have vengeance. Look at that. That beautiful 2-frame animation. Now he's changing up his pattern a bit. So he's doing the same thing, pretty much what Bowser does in Super Mario World. Except more floaty. There we go. Have some TNT barrelness. And we jump. And we jump. And we jump again. Again, the ponytail twirl makes it a lot easier. And I'm over here. Oh, no, I'm over here. Yep, yep, you missed me. Yep, I'm over here. And thanks for that TNT barrel, thank you very much. And I shall kill you with that. And there he goes. So that does it for our Krem key. And that means we move on to the next world, which is Crazy Kremland, which is an awesome level world thing. We're going to go into Hornet Hole. I think we'll do Hornet Hole and then end up the episode. We'll see if I don't fail too much in the meantime. Anyways, DK barrel. Also, screw physics because whatever. Because normally you get stuck and can't move around and stuff, but if you tag team, you can just walk easily, so you can always use that to your advantage. Unfortunately, they fixed that in the Game Boy Advance version, so yeah. Oh well, all good things must come to an end. Alright then, so we go here, get to our bonus. And here we gotta break open this treasure chest. And as you can probably tell, the amount of zingers that they have here, the amount of times you have to break the treasure chest open. So that's all good and fine. I think we'll just hit it 2 more times and we shall... There we go. Unfortunately, I think on the Hornet Hole, or the, I guess like the Zinger levels, these particular ones, they're not exactly my favorite because the physics or the mechanics behind the whole, the mechanics behind the honey and being all sticky, I just don't think it's real. I don't really like it as much. It's a bit awkward, especially when you're scaling up these walls. So yeah, it can just be a bit weird to deal with. But actually, on an interesting note, when I was actually playing through this game, on the same cartridge, mind you, I did encounter a graphical glitch. It was a bit further on, and I think it was because I was speedrunning or something, and I know for some reason it was faster than what the game could handle. And it was like in a fixed section of the middle of the screen, just had a section of a zinger, like a sprite. Like only partially zinger, and eventually that same sprite changed. Also we got Squitter. And that same sprite just changed randomly, and then into like a spiny and then other random stuff. I don't know, it was just this section right here. I think I was moving a lot faster than what the game thought it should be handling. I just thought it was really interesting, and I got so interested. I was like, oh, that's so cool, it's a graphical glitch, it's doing fancy stuff. And then I completely forgot that there was bonuses around, so yeah, that was actually kind of funny though. But oh well, screw you glitches and distracting me from trying to complete the games. Alright then, so I believe we're going to encounter a few things that will require Squitter. So if we go down here and kill that zinger down there, we will go here and... Screw you, whatever. We'll go up here and get our DK coin, if we can get to it. There we go. But however, we still need to hold on to Squitter, so let's hopefully not lose him. Because he's needed for this thing up here. Follow the trail of bananas. The trail of bananas. If you follow Despicable Me. Alright then. We gotta find the token. And again, it requires Squitter, as per usual. I dare say we've already passed the halfway mark now for... Now, I'm pretty sure we have, because it's 75 in total, so... We probably passed the halfway mark in the previous world. Probably in Bramble Scramble, or... Bramble Blast, yes, that one. No, the friggin... Oh, fine. Well, then again, I think Squitter has already served his purpose, so if we just move up here... I'm gonna get to the hook thingy. Can I get to the hook? Gimme hook. Come on. Can I get up there, please? There we go. Then we get a bunch of bananas, which is always nice. And another life. 15 lives. 15 lives I probably don't really need, but that's always good to have lives. In fact, I think if you pass that with Squitter, you actually get a life as well, so... Yeah. Now, can I get up here? It's a bit weird. And... 1 banana again! Oh boy. Get the worst item in the target. End level target, and apparently I missed something, so... Herp-de-derp-de-derp-derp, I think I know what I missed. Yeah, it was this one. Well, wasn't that smart of me? There we go. There's our 40th token, and now I am going to leave. So I nearly did the same thing I did the previous Donkey Kong Country game that I let's played, but now that we've got Wrinkly Kong here, we are going to save our game and finish things off here. This has been SapphireMayo, over and out.